This week in NASCAR just feels heavy, not the kind of week where we're arguing about setups or celebrating a photo finish. This is the kind of week where you sit back and go, wow, this changes things. Because right now, we've got not just one, but two completely different situations unfolding, and both of them hit the sport in a serious way. One of them is about a driver who simply can't get back in the car, no matter how much he probably wants to. And the other is one of those moments where NASCAR had to step in and draw a line. Both of these stories are going to have real impact on the season, standings, opportunities, and honestly, even how we look at certain drivers moving forward. Let's talk about Alex Bowman first, because this one just gets harder to watch with every passing week. He's not just missing one race, he's not missing two. He's now officially set to miss 3 more NASCAR Cup Series races at Darlington, Martinsville, and Bristol. And when you add that to the races he's already missed over the past couple of weeks, we're looking at a driver who's going to be out of the car for at least 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And the reason? It's not a crash. It's not a broken bone. It's vertigo. Something that might not sound dramatic at first, but if you've ever dealt with it or even read about it, you know how serious it actually is. We're talking about dizziness, disorientation, and there is no way you can safely drive a cup car at full speed like that. The physics of racing at 150 plus miles per hour demand complete spatial awareness and split-second reaction times. Vertigo strips both of those away entirely. Hendrick Motorsports made it clear they are not rushing him back at all, and honestly, that tells you everything. This isn't about trying to save a season. This is about making sure Bowman gets back to 100%, because anything less than that in this sport is dangerous. That statement from the organization reflects exactly the kind of responsible decision-making that should come first when a driver's health is on the line. Now, when could we actually see him back? With the off weekend for Easter coming right after Martinsville, the earliest we might see him back is Kansas on April 19th, and even that is not guaranteed. So yeah, best case scenario, he's out for over a month. Realistically, it could be longer. Here's where it really hits from a competition standpoint. Right now, Bowman is sitting 36th in the standings, and he's already 94 points below the playoff cut line. The chances of him making the playoffs at this point are extremely slim, but here's the thing, that's not even the priority anymore. Not for Hendrick, not for the team, not for the fans who understand what's going on. This is about his health, period. We've seen what happens when drivers try to push through things they shouldn't, and in Bowman's case, vertigo is one of those conditions where if it's not fully gone, you just cannot take that risk. As frustrating as it is, especially for a guy in the 48 car, a team with championship expectations, you'd rather see him miss races than rush back and make things worse. Still, it leaves a huge gap. It shakes up the lineup, and it's one of those moments where you just feel for the driver, because you know he wants to be out there more than anything. The 48 car and Hendrick Motorsports were expected to be factors in the championship conversation this season. Every race Bowman misses is another race where that possibility fades further into the background. Now let's talk about the second story, because this one is completely different. And honestly, it caught a lot of people off guard. Daniel Dye has been indefinitely suspended by NASCAR. This all came from comments he made during a live stream, where he was discussing his experience around IndyCar driver David Malukas while opening trading cards. During that stream, he used language that NASCAR determined crossed the line under their rulebook, specifically Section 4.3C. Which states that drivers cannot make public statements that disrespect or target someone based on factors like race, gender, or religion. NASCAR reviewed the situation, and the result was a suspension with no timeline and no set return date. The only path back is that Dye must complete sensitivity training before he is even considered for reinstatement. And it didn't stop there. Colig Racing, his own team, also suspended him immediately after becoming aware of the situation. So this wasn't just NASCAR making a statement. The team backed it up right away. And just like that, he's out. From a competition standpoint, for the Truck Series race at Darlington, NASCAR brought in AJ Allmendinger as the replacement driver. Allmendinger runs full-time in the Cup Series for Colig Racing, and even though he hasn't raced in the Truck Series since 2021 at Watkins Glen, he brings 14 career Truck Series starts with him. That's a veteran presence stepping into that seat, and it could absolutely shake things up for that race at Darlington. As for Dye, he did issue an apology on social media. He admitted he didn't think before speaking, said he didn't intend harm, and acknowledge that intention does not erase impact. Fans are going to have their own opinions on that apology. That's just the reality. But regardless of how people feel about it, NASCAR's stance was already clear before that apology even went live. Now, let's look at where Dye stood before all of this happened. He was sitting 13th in the Truck Series standings, already 88 points behind the leader, Chandler Smith. He has 49 career Truck Series starts since 2023, with 2 top 5s, 10 top 10s, and 1 pole position. He also has experience in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, with a full-time move there in 2025 with Colig, plus starts this season with AM Racing. This is a young driver who was still actively building his career, accumulating experience, stacking up results, and working toward bigger opportunities in the sport. And now everything has hit pause. Unlike Bowman's situation, where the story is about recovery and patience, this one is entirely about consequences. A single moment, captured live, shared instantly, has altered the trajectory of a career that was still finding its footing. That's the reality of competing in today's sports landscape. Everything is live and everything is recorded. There are no takebacks once a stream goes out. So here's where we land. 2 drivers out. 2 completely different reasons. One affects a major cup team and a driver fighting just to get healthy again. The other sends a message across the entire garage about accountability and professionalism. For Bowman, the story from here is about recovery. Will he come back to full strength? Can Hendrick maintain momentum without him? And when he does return, and he will return, what does his season look like from that point forward? The 48 car has the talent and resources to reload, but time is not on their side. For Dye, the questions are different. Can he complete the required sensitivity training and make it back to the track? And if he does, what does the reception look like from fellow competitors, fans, and the organizations he's hoping to drive for? His stats showed a driver on the rise. 2 top 5s, 10 top 10s, 1 pole. But numbers don't exist in a vacuum. Trust and reputation matter in this paddock, and these are 2 situations that are going to follow NASCAR over the next several weeks and beyond. One is about a sport caring for its athletes. The other is about a sport holding its participants accountable. And as fans, we are left watching how both of these situations unfold from here, because that's what makes this sport so intense sometimes. It's not just about what happens on the track.